Honorable W.M. Thring.
Thank you, Speaker. Mr. President, it is well known that a sovereign wealth fund has the ability to improve the well-being and the standard of living of the citizens in the country which develops such a fund. Some 12 African countries rather, have already established a sovereign wealth fund, which puts South Africa in a position behind our African counterparts. South Africa is well endowed with natural mineral resources, and this should be used not only to grow our economy, it should also be used to protect our citizens from both endogenous and exogenous shocks, financial shocks to our economy. Now, Mr. President, with South Africa facing a deficit on our national budget, debt to GDP of over 74%, and as well some failures in implementing what you would call for the structural reform that our economy needs, how do you intend to overcome these impediments and others which serves as deterrents to a sovereign wealth fund?
Honorable President.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As I said, the establishment of a sovereign wealth fund is a process. And I think we have gone now beyond talking about our wish and our desire to establish a sovereign wealth fund. It is now generally accepted that, like other countries, we should have a sovereign wealth fund. And I was giving the example of the sovereign wealth pension fund that we have created over time, over a number of years, which is the PIC. But that one is owned by pensioners, people who work for the state. We now want to create a sovereign wealth fund which will be owned by all the people of South Africa. Now, as I said, one of the best ways, and right now it is the most efficacious way to set up the sovereign wealth fund is through having a state-owned enterprise holding company, which will then be able to draw dividends from its well-operating state-owned entities. A number of countries have done so. And Dubai Investment Fund is one of those. And indeed, the Singapore one and many other countries are able to draw dividends from those well-operating companies that operate in good industries and that make money. And the money then goes into the sovereign wealth fund. Now, yes, we have a deficit. We have a debt burden. And obviously that has to be funded through the taxation process that's underway or borrowings. Now, the sovereign wealth fund will be funded through dividends that will flow from our state-owned enterprises. Right now, many of our state-owned enterprises are in the doldrums. We accept that. And processes are underway to reposition them. And when they are repositioned, and this will take time, we will then be able to draw dividends from those. And the dividends will then flow into the sovereign wealth fund and start building it up. And it will then have a developmental approach to assist in developing our economy. So that is the broad architecture. And that's why I say we've now gone beyond desire and wish. We are now getting into building the nuts and bolts of how this sovereign wealth fund could operate. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.